The cabin sat isolated on 20 acres of Montana wilderness, buried in snow that reached the windows. Tom Wheeler stood at the door with his 11-year-old daughter, Emma, watching headlights cut through the blizzard. 20 motorcycles, all Harleys, all ridden by women in leather jackets bearing the same patch, Iron Sisters MC. Tom's hand instinctively moved to protect Emma. At 42, he was a widower, a failing writer, and 3 weeks away from losing the cabin to foreclosure. The last thing he needed was a motorcycle gang showing up at midnight. The lead rider dismounted and walked toward the cabin. She was maybe 40, leather jacket studded and weathered, dark hair pulled back. She stopped 10 feet from the door. "Tom Wheeler," she called over the wind. "Who's asking? My name's Sarah Mitchell. I served with your wife. Lieutenant Rebecca Wheeler, Marines, Afghanistan 2012. Tom felt his heart stop. Rebecca. His wife had been killed in action 8 years ago. Emma had been 3 years old. "What do you want?" Tom asked. "To help. Rebecca saved my life in Helmand Province, took enemy fire meant for me. She died so I could come home. I've owed her a debt for 8 years. Today I learned you're about to lose this cabin. I'm here to settle my debt." Tom stepped outside, Emma clutching his jacket. The 20 women on motorcycles sat quietly, engines idling, watching. "How did you know about the cabin?" Tom asked. "I've kept tabs on you and Emma since Rebecca died. I know you're a writer. I know your last 3 books didn't sell. I know the publisher dropped your contract. I know the bank foreclosed 3 weeks ago and you have until January 1st to vacate. So you brought a motorcycle club to what, intimidate the bank?" Sarah smiled slightly. "No, I brought sisters who all owe Rebecca their lives. Every woman here served with her. She saved every one of us at some point. We're here to save you." Over the next hours, the story emerged. Rebecca Wheeler had been a Marine platoon leader who died protecting her unit during an ambush. These 20 women had been her soldiers. After her death, they'd stayed connected, eventually forming the Iron Sisters Motorcycle Club, veterans supporting veterans. "We're not a charity," Sarah explained, sitting in Tom's small living room while Emma served coffee to the bikers. "We're family, Rebecca's family, which makes you and Emma family too." "I appreciate that, but I don't see how—" "How much do you need to keep the cabin?" Sarah interrupted. $48,000, plus penalties, so probably $55,000 total. I don't have it. I've tried everything." Sarah pulled out her phone and made a call. "Marcus? Sarah Mitchell. I need you to stop foreclosure proceedings on a property, Wheeler Cabin, Lot 47, Lincoln County, Montana. Yes, I'll wire the full amount plus penalties tomorrow morning. Call the bank president now and tell them the debt's covered." She hung up. Tom stared. "You just paid off my cabin?" "The Iron Sisters paid it off. Rebecca's sisters. We've been saving for years for something like this, helping families of fallen Marines. You're the first, but you won't be the last." Emma, who'd been listening quietly, spoke up. "You all knew my mom?" 20 women answered variations of yes. Sarah knelt down to Emma's level. "Your mom was the bravest person I ever met. She taught us all what real courage looks like. Not fearlessness, doing what's right even when you're terrified. She was terrified the day she saved us. She did it anyway." Emma started crying. Tom pulled her close. "Thank you, all of you. But I can't accept this. It's too much." "It's already done," Sarah said. "But there's a condition. You're a writer who's struggling because you're writing what you think will sell instead of what matters. Rebecca used to read your early work, the stuff you wrote before you got published. She said it was brilliant because it was honest. Then you got a contract and started writing what publishers wanted. The work suffered." "How do you know that?" "Because she wrote me letters from Afghanistan, sent me chapters of your unpublished novel, the one about veterans coming home. It was raw and real and painful. She said you'd never publish it because it was too honest. But she was wrong. That's exactly the book that needs to be published." Sarah pulled out a worn manuscript. Tom recognized it immediately. The novel he'd written 6 years ago and shoved in a drawer because 3 agents said it was too depressing for the market. "We want you to finish this," Sarah said. "Really finish it. Publish it yourself if you have to. Tell the truth about what veterans face when they come home, about loss and survival and rebuilding. That's your debt to Rebecca, not money. Truth. Over the next year, Tom rewrote the novel. The Iron Sisters became his first readers, his toughest critics, his most honest supporters. They shared their stories. The trauma, the healing, the struggle to find purpose after service. Tom published the novel independently. It sold modestly at first, then caught fire through veteran networks and word of mouth. Within 2 years, it had sold 500,000 copies and won the National Book Award. At the award ceremony, Tom's speech was brief. "This book exists because of 20 women on motorcycles who showed up at midnight to save me. They paid a debt to my wife, a Marine who gave her life for them. They taught me that family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's a group of strangers who become sisters. Sometimes it's a debt of honor that spans years. Thank you, Iron Sisters. This award belongs to all of you. And to Rebecca Wheeler, who taught us all what sacrifice really means." Emma, now 13, stood beside him. After the ceremony, she asked Sarah, "Will you teach me to ride? A motorcycle, I mean, when I'm old enough?" Sarah smiled. "Your mom would have loved that, yes. When you're 16, I'll teach you myself, and you'll ride with the Iron Sisters. You're one of us now. You always were." If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories about honoring those who serve and the families who survive them. Comment about someone who paid a debt of honor in your life. Your story might inspire others to do the same.